Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. This is the case of the Idaho 4. May the victims rest in peace, condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. Today, I would like to go back to the beginning for a specific reason. From the beginning, my theories, my speculations had always been, and I honestly believe, that besides my channel and Murder Metal Mayhem, shout out to him, we were the only two who had this same theory without even knowing what we thought. We always believed it was two separate timelines, two separate incidents. Although the reports say that all 4 victims were unalived after 4 a.m., I still disagree. And that's just my opinions, that's not the facts. Like I said, I was the only YouTube creator who was saying that the Sigma Chi fraternity boys were involved from the very beginning of this case. Because no matter how deep I dig into this case from the very beginning, reading all the Reddits, reading every single thing on the internet. Same time, reading the facts. Let's not forget this case was on gag order, so we didn't have much to go with it. We didn't have a direction to head, but sometimes the truth will guide you to the correct direction. One of the first things that caught my eye, that made me believe Ethan and Xana were deleted before 2:15, somewhere between 1:56 to 2:15, is because, number one, Ethan and Xana were obviously together. They had beef with the Davids, brewing beef that started from fall the year before. Number two, we know that Ethan has triplets. They're triplets. His brother goes to his fraternity, Hunter Chapin. He spoke to his sister or texted his sister last, Maisie. And then Stacy Chapin came out in a first interview and said, 2 a.m. is the hardest time for my family, for us all. 2 a.m. is the hardest time for us all. I would assume, obviously, if you have triplets, your other 2 children are going to call the mother and father because they lost one of their triplets. So that is the first hint that led me to the direction of 2 a.m. The second one is when the coroner, Cathy Macbeth, said that the unalivings happened somewhere after 2 a.m. She doesn't necessarily mean 2 a.m., but somewhere, some timing after 2 a.m. If it happened at 4 a.m., she would have said somewhere after 3 a.m., after 4 a.m. Why would she decide to say 2 a.m.? That has been deleted off the net. So you have the coroner and you have Stacy Chapin saying that. Now 156 is extremely important time for me because according to Alivira and according to the police, Kaylee and Maddie got home at this time. So I believe Kaylee and Maddie walked into something they shouldn't have. Poor victims. The third thing is I believe that the students were gagged. Some of the students were gagged. Some of the victims, my apology, were gagged. Because that was the rumors that were coming from the college itself. And pay attention to how focused Captain Lenore and Chief Fry were hesitating and saying, no, the victims were not gagged. I knew there was something wrong with that part after seeing the pictures what Saeed was watching. It looked like people were gagged. I have so many pictures saved that every time I go back and look at them, it just frustrates me to know that the correct people aren't held accountable. You can hear Ethan and Xana, trigger warning, begging for their life or screaming, Ethan calling out Xana, people laughing at the background. Linda Lane is a place just like the Banfield and the big white house in 1119 King Road. I believe they all should have been crime scenes, in my personal opinion. I believe Kaylee and Maddie could have been allegedly gagged, or in my opinion, they could have been gagged because something already happened to Ethan and Xana. I still believe not all the victims were unalived at home. After seeing the figure running out in the body cam from 1119 King Road explains everything. The guy's taking pictures of the ground, and when you look at the ground, you clearly see something that looks like two bodies. In my opinion only. All speculations, because they're blurry. We've seen Jagdi with injured hands. I've always said that. Got a lot of trolls, got a lot of Jagdi fans literally harassing me from the beginning, saying, leave Jagdi alone. He lost his girlfriend. No, Jagdi did not look right from day one. And when I was zooming into his pictures 2 years ago, it was a couple of days after the unalivings. But now I finally got to see the body cam, and it is worse than we thought. So I believe that whoever came for Ethan and Xana could have possibly been the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Let's not forget, Xana used to chill there a lot. So did Emily. So did Hunter Johnson. And so did many other people. Bethany, DM, everything. Bethany has exculpatory evidence because she knows what happened. These people were putting up pictures on Visco. It's never been mentioned on the reports. DM was uploading pictures showing a finger at 3:33. I think that is when all the crimes, unalivings, were done. So I don't believe, in my personal opinion, that the surviving roommates are witnesses. Chief Fry said it himself in the press conference. When ABC News asked him, she asked him an excellent question. Are you trying to say that the surviving roommates were witnesses to this and they did not call 911 for 8 hours? And then the chief says, I did not say they were surviving roommates. I said they were just there. Ouch. Explain that. That is just so baffling. So let's watch this clip first.
It's a dark hour, I can tell you that. For all.
Is this the reason DM did not call 911? This happened 13 days before the unalivings. Bullying is a horrible thing. It causes a lot of trauma. People unalive themselves, especially if they're going through other issues, possibly gender issues too. The position DM is in looks very traumatizing. Now pay attention to Xana'S hand. This is something I wanted to share with you all for a very long time. This is from Maddie Morgan's TikTok. I don't want to put the volume up because I would rather that y'all go and check Maddie Morgan's TikTok. The words will give me copyright strike and community guidelines strike. So I ain't taking that chance. The song that's playing in the background is You Effing Liar, You Effing Manipulator. So that is what Maddie was referring to DM. Now this is, pay attention, 13 days before the unalivings. This was on Halloween. Look at Xana'S knuckles and look at DM's forehead. This wasn't the rush year. It wasn't when they were recruiting frats or sororities. So what was going on? In the same clip, Maddie writes at the end, like it if you are G-A-Y, Jaden. Okay, the only Jaden I can think of is Jaden Smith, who has famous parents, Will and Jada Smith, because he has he's in the trend of wearing dresses, and he's a boy. Won't say more. I'm sure that's what Maddie meant, in my opinion. Now, has Xana and DM, have they been beefing? Look at DM's forehead. And this is from Maddie's TikTok. You can go see it. I've spoken about this over 7 times in the last 1.5 years. But now I want you all to pay attention to Xana's hands, her knuckles, may she rest in peace. And pay attention to DM's forehead. Could DM have taken revenge? Only Lord knows. Did DM know what was going on and did not call the police? Because she wanted them to pay? Lord knows. I believe from everything we've seen and I've put out there, I'm starting to believe many motives are involved. Revenge, number one. Revenge unalivings. Crime or passion, you have Jack D with his knuckles busted and one thumb looks burnt. I wonder if he is burning his clothes after what he did. Lord knows. Why did the police put him in the cruiser immediately? Is another red flag. He had something behind his back, like a weapon. He kept on hiding his hand behind the back. So all these are important questions to me. If you pay attention to what's happening here, Xana'S the one recording it. Maddie posts it. Remember, we've heard before that Maddie could have been one of the main targets. Kaylee could have been the target too, and so could Xana and Ethan. I've always said all four were the targets. Everyone who seemed to have beef on the students came together that night. This is what these youngins do. They backdoor each other. Xana's knuckles are swollen. May she rest in peace. Xana was a sports girl, a sportswoman. This is hazing, in my opinion. Did DM take revenge? Is my question. Could DM, Jack D, and many others like the Davids and Jacks, could they have worked together? Definitely. Could Ruggs be involved? Partly. But I don't think it was Ruggs. Ruggs, maybe local Ruggs from the students. But I don't think it was anything major. No cartel is going to give youngins like these Ruggs or money. Yes, cartels set examples when things go wrong, ugly examples, but they wouldn't take a chance on this. Do you remember that they said in the beginning nobody was gagged? Now just look what they were doing in Halloween. It looks to me like DM is gagged. When I looked at the crime scene pictures I showed you, DM had a long, not a rope, cloth hanging tied up to a bed. Did she allegedly do what the victims did to her? If she was bullied and if she knows about this and had some involvement, she decided to make $110,000 on a GoFundMe that the limit was $90,000. It's gone $22,000 more, and they ain't stopping it. Do these people owe Rug money, or did they rent somebody to do this for them? Is my question, just my thought. It totally makes sense for me that whatever happened at Halloween, that was only 13 days before the unalivings, could have been part of the reason that at least 2 of the victims were unalived. Because I can clearly see, I'm not disrespecting the victims. I really care about them. That's why I work so hard in this case. But I believe 2 of the victims who allegedly were bullying DM were unalived, Xana and Maddie. But why did DM invite Kaylee as a plus one? Was she doing the sororities, Kaylee's sororities, a favor? Or was she doing Jack D a favor, in my opinion? Let me know what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe. May these 4 victims rest in peace. We know that BK had no motives, no targets. It was a lie. According to the detective, that BK had any contact, or he did not know any of the victims or the surviving roommates. He was apparently said to have not known anyone at 1122 King Road. And I still stand by what I believe. The thing that could have brought BK there was BK came to buy rugs. As a mental health counselor, I see someone who is recovering from some kind of addiction. Brian Koberger. The only crime I can find of him so far is that he was under addiction. And I'm sure, in my opinion, he was buying from Bethany Funk, who was selling cocaine, pills, and different kind of stuff. How do I say that and why do I say that? Her Venmos prove it, not me. Go back to my previous clips that I've been exposing Bethany Funk and her Venmos. Let me know what y'all think. But I believe revenge unalivings is very possible, since DM had beef with Xana and Maddie. This was no friendly Halloween. This was a nightmare for DM. Look at Xana's hands, guys. Was Xana punching the walls or was Xana punching DM? Because look at DM's forehead. That should tell us everything. Please like, share, and subscribe.